Chapter 5, Calling Methods, Solution Movie 5.1. So here are the instructions for exercise 5.1. Our first step says the NSString class, and by extension the SwiftString class, has a string by replacing occurrences of string with string method. And here's the documentation that Apple provides for that method. So the basic idea of this method is you find one string, or actually all occurrences of that string, and you replace it with another string. Under the declaration section, we see both the Swift and the Objective-C method declarations. And by looking at the Swift declaration, we can see that this is an instance method, because otherwise it would have the word class in front of it to indicate that it's a type method. And for those who know Objective-C, the minus sign says it's an instance method, a plus sign says it's a type method. So this method accepts two parameters. The first is the string that you're going to replace, and the second parameter is the string with which to replace it. And finally, with the return value, it will return a string in which all the occurrences of the one string are replaced by the other. So in the Swift demo project, we have this line of code where we're using string by appending string, and we're setting it in the text property. So for our exercise, we're looking to replace the word me with the word everyone. And we're going to store the result back into lbldemo.text. Then we should be able to run the app in the simulator and make sure the text has changed. So let's give it a try. So here's my Swift demo project, and here's the line of code that we're talking about. Now I want to be able to see a few things at once, so I'm going to double click and open the single code file on the left hand side, because I also want to see these instructions from the book on the right hand side. And since we know that we're calling an instance method, we want to follow the instructions in table 5.1. So the first step says create the object on which you are calling the method. Well, we've already got that. The object is a string object that's already stored in the text property, so we're good to go. So I'm just going to add an empty line here. Now it says if there is a return value. If you click down here, you can see I've also got that declaration showing. And sure enough, this does return a string. So it says if there is a return value, and there is, create a variable or constant to hold the return value, and we can name it whatever we want. So I'll say we'll make it a constant, let s, and according to this second part of the step, we type an equal sign. So step number 3, type the name of the variable that holds a reference to the object you are calling the method on. Again, that's right here, our text property. So I'll say self.lbldemo.text. All right, press escape to hide code completion. So step number 4 says type a period and then the name of the method to be executed. So the name of the method is string by replacing occurrences of string with string. So I'm going to press return. Now I notice this one's I got a few extra parameters. I should be seeing one with just a couple of them. This is actually a bug. We should be seeing multiple methods called string by replacing occurrences of string, but we'll run with that. So I press return. The next step says type a left parenthesis. Well, code completion already added that for us. And if there are any arguments, we noted that there were 2. We want to type the first argument value. So this is the string we're searching for. We're searching for the string me. And if I press tab, we can say this is the replacement string. And we're going to say everyone. So since it's added the extra arguments for us, I'm just going to press the down arrow, hold shift to get rid of those. I can press delete. And our last step says type a right parenthesis to complete the statement. So that's our complete statement. Let s equals, and we've done the string by replacing occurrences of string. Now, according to our instructions, we're actually supposed to be storing that back into self.lbldemo.text. Now, I've broken this out into 2 steps because I find beginner programmers are confused when I do it all in one step. So let's take the 2-step, then we'll condense it. So I'm going to say self.lbldemo.text equals s. And that would work just fine. I actually take the string, I create a constant, I take the constant, I store it back into this property. Ultimately, I can do this in a single line of code. And I'll do just that. So I'm going to select this portion. I'm going to type Control X to get rid of it. I'll get rid of the rest of this line of code. I'll come down here below and I'll paste it. So basically I'm taking the value in this text property, taking that string, removing the me, replacing it with everyone, and we're storing it back into the string. So let's see how that works. I'm going to press Command S to save this. I'll close here, and we can see I'm back in my project. I press the Run button, and there it is. Swift is for everyone.